You believe your thoughts are your own. You wake up, you choose your coffee, you choose your partner, you choose your outrage. But what if I told you that you are a biological machine responding to a code you didn't write? In the next few minutes, we are going to dismantle the illusion of your free will. Most people live their entire lives as reactive puppets. They are being controlled by three psychological levers: the intermittent faucet, the scarcity mirage, and the identity anchor. Think of the last time you checked your phone for a notification that wasn't there. That phantom itch in your pocket? That is the first string. It's called intermittent reinforcement. If a slot machine paid out every time, you'd get bored. But because it pays out randomly, your brain stays locked in a state of permanent hunger. Predators, corporations, and even your closest friends use this. They give you warmth, then they turn cold. They reply instantly, then they go silent for 3 days. They aren't busy. They are calibrating your dopamine. They are making sure your happiness is a resource they control. By the time you realize you're thirsty, they've already labeled the faucet. The second string is the mirror trap. Control doesn't require a cage, it only requires a comparison. Psychological controllers create a fractured reality. They show you a version of who you could be, more productive, more liked, more enlightened, and then they point out the cracks in your current self. This creates chronic inadequacy. When you feel not enough, you become a consumer. You consume advice, you consume products, you consume the controller's presence just to feel whole. Then comes the scarcity mirage. Machiavelli knew that people value what is disappearing. If someone makes their approval feel like a rare gem, you will bleed for a single carrot. They create the doorway effect. They make you feel that if you don't act now, if you don't agree with them, if you don't follow their lead, the door will close forever. You aren't moving toward a goal, you are running away from a loss. And a person running in fear is the easiest person to steer. The most dangerous form of control is the one you do to yourself to protect your ego. This is the identity anchor. Controllers give you a label. You're the reliable one. You're the kind one. You're the one who always understands. It feels like a compliment, doesn't it? It's actually a velvet handcuff. Once you accept the label of the kind one, the controller can exploit you indefinitely. All they have to say is, "I thought you were a good person," and your brain will prioritize the label over your own survival. This is cognitive dissonance weaponized. You would rather be abused while being good than be free while being bad. You are being controlled by your own need for consistency. They have anchored your ship in a storm, and you are refusing to cut the rope because you're proud of how well you can hold an anchor. So how do you wake up? You must become psychologically unattainable. First, you must embrace the villain phase. If someone tries to control you using your kindness, you must be willing to let them think you are the villain. Let them tell their story. Let them smear your name. If they don't care about the label, they lose the handle they use to pull you. Second, practice emotional neutrality. When the intermittent faucet goes dry, don't bang on the pipes. Sit in the silence. When they realize their withdrawal doesn't trigger your panic, the power dynamic flips instantly. Third, shadow integration. Stop pretending you don't have teeth. A person who can be cruel but chooses to be calm is powerful. A person who cannot be cruel is just a victim waiting for a turn. The world doesn't want you to be free. It wants you to be predictable. Break the pattern. Stop being the good puppet. Become the power that chooses when to walk. The strings are only as strong as your desire to be liked. Cut the desire and the strings fall. Watch the people who get angry when you set a boundary. They're the ones who are most comfortable with your strings.